We, the people, want to talk about rights for a few minutes if we could. So, there's a nifty little piece of paper called the Constitution. And inside that Constitution, it describes certain things. And it says, we, the people. And it's big letters across the top of it. And it moves on to talk about a handful of different things. But it says, all men are created equally. And it's right there in fine print. You can't deny that. It also moves on to talk about things like the First Amendment, Second Amendment, and goes on down the list for a handful of other amendments. First Amendment is freedom of speech. Freedom of speech guarantees you the freedom to say whatever you want to say, whenever you want to say it, to whoever you want to say it to, and about whatever you want to tell them. So when you want to tell the big, scary orange man that he's a communist dictator, he's a Nazi, he's a fascist, and all those other things that you want to say to him, you have every right to say it. And it's protected. It's God-given. But what you don't have and what you fail to understand is you don't have freedom of consequences. So when you want to slander somebody, they have the right to sue you. They have the right to take legal action against you for slander or defamation of character. You have the right to assembly, which means a peaceful protest where you come together and you protest ICE, you protest the big scary orange man, you protest the closing of Planned Parenthood, or whatever it is you decide to protest. You have every right to do it, and it is protected, legally protected. What you don't have the right to do is to cause violence, is to stop a family in a car on a road and terrorize the children in the back of that car, to scare an old lady trying to walk across the street because you're going to scream at her and call her a fascist. You don't have that right. You don't have freedom of consequences. So when somebody steps in to stop you, whether it be an innocent bystander on the street that just had enough and will no longer stand for your treatment of other people in such a way, and they get in your face and they move you, they push you down, or some other interaction happens, that's your consequence. If you decide it's going to be smart to try to challenge ICE, a federal employee, the National Guard, police, whatever the case may be, and you put your hands on them, you throw something at them, you do something to antagonize them, again, consequences. FAFO. That's what Portland's finding out right now. That the American people have had enough. We, the people, are rising up. We, the people, are coming together to put an end to your BS. Now, when you move on, you got the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, saying that a well-regulated militia is needed to stop a tyrannical government. Now, a lot of people like to argue that a well-regulated militia means that the army, well-regulated militia is everyday people. Because the army works for the government, but the militia is of the people, by the people. We, the people, are the militia. And we are armed, and we do train to make sure that we can keep our families safe from any threat. And more people are going out armed nowadays to keep their families safe from the threat of American citizens because they want to be stupid. We're not going to tolerate all the crime in the street. We're not going to tolerate the threats to our families. We're not going to tolerate bullies and thugs like Antifa or BLM trying to take over our cities and ruin our way of life. Now, violence is never the answer. But, unfortunately, sometimes violence is the solution. And that is the FAFO policy. If you're going to fuck around, you're going to find out. And the majority of the time, you're not going to like the way that you find out. In the wrong state, if you come across the wrong person and you try to mob their car with their kids inside, they will shoot first and never ask a question later. Because when it comes down to my children and their safety, or you and your stupid bullshit, getting my kids home safe every day is more important than what little parade you're having in the middle of the road that you decided to encompass my car with. Too many people have taken it upon themselves to think that they can scream about fascists are taking over this country and not realize that the fascists are the ones in the road screaming at everybody, causing chaos, inciting violence, thinking it's okay to act like petulant little children having a temper tantrum because mommy took away the game system. You never saw the hippies doing stuff like this. They came together to protest, and what happened? Everybody had a good time. Everybody was calm. Everybody had music and melodies and parties. What city ever got burnt down to the ground because the hippies were protesting fascism? It's the same argument decades later, but the methods are completely different. The ideology behind it is completely different. The only thing the hippies were burning was weed. Why is it Antifa decides to burn cities? BLM burns cities. Whatever happened to a peaceful protest where you could actually protest and still have a discussion with somebody? Still have an exchanging of ideas. We the people have had enough. We're tired of the riots. We're tired of the idiots. We're tired of wondering who's going to be next. We the people want to have the discussions that need to be had. But you need to be able to be civil enough to sit down, shut up for 5 minutes, and listen to somebody else. We the people will always debate you. But you have to be civil enough to have a debate. We the people are Charlie Kirk. Question is, who are you? Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you ever need to reach out to us, links are in the bio. Check out our Instagram page. Follow us for more. You guys, be safe. Love you. Bye.